Welcome back for another video. In this series we look at the top players with predicted points to make your transfer plans and captaincy easier. Make data-backed decisions to maximise your chance of success. We also cover all the key talking points, considerations, and we look at the top players by position. We've also included the predicted points for the next 4 game weeks because we don't just want a player to have an immediate impact, we want them to be reliable for us longer term. Let's start with the goalkeepers, and this week the predictions are dominated by the double game week. De Gea's narrowly top with 7.7 predicted points. Man United's doubles a mixed bag against Norwich and then Liverpool. There's a small chance of Man United doubling in Gameweek 34 too, which is something to consider, but Dubravka looks the better pick. We discussed what a solid pick he was in last week's episode for 4.4 mil, and he kept a clean sheet in the win against Wolves for his 7-pointer. Newcastle have 2 further home games against Leicester and then Crystal Palace. We saw Leicester rotate heavily for their game against Palace with one eye on the Europa Conference League. Leicester play again on Thursday, so we may see some similar rotation as Leicester prioritise accordingly. Something we've also discussed is the effect Tierney and Partey's absence could have on Arsenal, and defensively they've been very poor recently. Ramsdale does however double in 36 too, so if you plan to bench boost in 36 or perhaps free hit in 37, then he could be a good pickup still. Schmeichel has a similar appeal, he doubles in 33, 36 and 37, so an all bases covered pick, though Leicester's defence has been lacklustre overall and something to bear in mind. Leicester face Newcastle and Everton, who aren't particularly attacking sides, so one clean sheet from the 2 games would be a reasonable expectation, and you'd take that from these budget keepers. Pope, Sanchez, Ederson and Forster are all avoids. McCarthy is back in training for Southampton, which is booked into Forster's predicted points over the next 4, hence why they're so low. Onto the defenders, and the top defender this week is Tellez. This season he's not been a good asset overall, however Shaw is out injured for a few weeks, so he's one to consider. Certainly if you're on a free hit, he's one to strongly consider. There's plenty of great options in a Newcastle defence. Shaw or Target would be my picks, and they've shown their capability to get attacking returns, and if you're looking for a Doherty replacement, they're both affordable. One thing to be conscious of is that Gameweek 35 to 37 Newcastle face Liverpool, Man City and Arsenal, so ensure you have someone to start ahead of them. Or if you plan to bench boost 36, then don't expect much as they face Man City away. Gabriel and White are the 2 I'd consider in the Arsenal defence. Cedric makes the list narrowly ahead of White, however Tomiyasu is expected back for the 20th of April, which gives him a chance of making the second of Arsenal's double. As always, it's important not to go all in on double game weekers when there's single game week picks that shouldn't be ignored. For example, if you don't own a City defender, then Cancelo or Laporte are great options. If you found this video useful so far, please drop it a like to support the channel. Onto the midfielders, and Bruno is top with 8.6 predicted points. Although he's not hit the same heights this season, he has 9 goals and 7 assists and has already demonstrated what he's capable of in the fixture pairing after his 23-point haul in double game week 22. On a free hit he has to be the first name in your team sheet, but without a free hit it's a real challenge to accommodate him. Son, Kane and De Bruyne all look unsellable in current form if you own them, and Salah scored a 24-pointer against Man United earlier in the season. Liverpool have back-to-back home games, so selling's very high risk, high reward if it does come off. Sanchez, Maddison and Saka are all joint on 8.1 predicted points. Sancho is a reasonable alternative to Bruno but lacks the explosiveness, and he has just 7 attacking returns this season and a double-digit haul just once. There's not much to separate Maddison and Barnes, however Maddison is in better form and he has more points over the season. Barnes narrowly misses out after being benched last game. Maddison did play 88 minutes against Palace while Barnes only made a cameo off the bench. Hopefully their European game against PSV gives us more clues about the duo's minutes in the double. Although Arsenal's defence has suffered, that isn't to say their offence has, and Saka, Martinelli and Ødegaard are all excellent picks still, and double again in 36. Ward-Prowse has been flying under the radar. He's on 7 goals and 4 assists this season, and beyond his double game week 33 he has Brighton, Palace and Brentford, which are 3 good fixtures. Salah's the only single game maker to make the top predicted points with 6.9 for the game against Man United at home. Onto the forwards, and Ronaldo's top with 10.3 predicted points, which is the highest for Game Week 33 among all players. It's the same dilemma as Bruno, where for most managers the only route to getting him is by selling a premium, and the premiums have been delivering for us recently. That said, over the last 4 game weeks Man United are rock bottom for XG, and over the last 6 they're 14th. So realistically you're only counting on something from the Norwich game, as Liverpool away will be exceptionally tough. Wood is second with 8.8 predicted points. He scored a penalty in Game Week 32, and while Wilson remains sidelined, he's the only real striker option. Therefore you can count on him to get 180 minutes, whereas the picks like Ronaldo, Weghorst and Iheanacho you can't trust to start both games. Adams is one to consider too. We talked about Southampton's fixtures, and both him and Ward-Prowse are actually on identical attacking returns this season with 7 goals and 4 assists. He's been getting reliable minutes and he tends to play the full 90. Over the last 6 matches, Adams is 5th among all forwards for expected goal involvement. Despite having a double game week, you could definitely make the case for selling Weghorst. Over the last 6 games, he's had just 1 big chance and taken 3 shots in the box at a rate of 1 every 2 games on average. It's bad enough when a forward has barely taken shots, but last match Weghorst was withdrawn after 55 minutes for a 1-pointer. Dyche cited how he's had a dip in form recently. Burnley not in a position to drop any more points, so if Dyche feels he needs to rely on Vidra instead, then perhaps we see him get more minutes over Weghorst. Kane is the only single game week forward to make the list this week with 6.1 predicted points for the game against Brighton at home. If you're on a free hit, a sensible approach is to keep some balance with a few single game weekers, as the likes of Son, Kane, Salah and Cancelo are all highly owned and they have the capability to do better in 1 game than many in 2. That wraps up this video, thanks for watching. Before you go, please drop it a like if you found it useful. I read every comment, so leave one below and I'll be sure to read it. See you soon for the next one.